Hello once again there, YouTube. It is MrYetininja coming at you with my Dragunity deck profile. This is the exact same build I went to the regional at Yeti Gaming with, and I placed 35th with an X3 record. I was X1 up until round 7, and I got OTK'd by 6 Sam's first game, and then he opened the nuts game 3. So I really couldn't come back from that, and then in round 8, I played Heroes. Game 1, I lost to him. Game 2, I exploded, and he was like, wow, that's pretty good. And then Game 3, went into a top decking war. He was sitting on a Dark Hole, but decided to save it, and then he just went Dark Hole, Miracle Fusion, turn after, and that just won him the game, so that was fun. Not really, so second time in a row this national season, I have been prevented from getting my invite in round 8 because of the hero matchup. Great. But yeah, Dragunity deck profile. Overall, I like the build. If there are a few things that I would maybe change, I would maybe take out the MSTs and add in another Lance and 2 dualities, and maybe just side the MSTs. I don't know, but the MSTs, they were okay. When I needed them, I didn't have them, and when I had them, I didn't need them, so I don't really know how to feel about that. But my thinking behind it was just that it's a combo-based deck, so I want that to go off without a hitch, and I mean, when it worked, I guess it was okay, but I don't know. I just felt this deck, I feel, needs more speed, really, and in hindsight, taking out the dualities wasn't the best idea. The dualities were a dead draw for this deck when you opened the combo, but when you didn't, they were pretty nice to have around, so I don't know. Anyway, I'm just going to go on to the deck list. It's triple Ducks and triple Phalanx. These guys are your Synchro Engine, and this is how your deck explodes. You get Phalanx Engrave, equip it, or summon Ducks, and use its effect to equip the Phalanx, and then you use Phalanx effect, special summon it, Synchro to 6s, and you just go off from there. It's a combo-based deck like Inzectors, and when Inzectors were first introduced, people often commented that they were better versions of Dragunities. Well, they are overall a more consistent deck than Dragunities, but Dragunities are much faster, and they can become very aggressive very quickly. And I mean, in the Inzector matchup, it just depends on if they can set up their lock where, well, it's not really a lock, but if they can start spamming Dragonfly Centipedes, or if you can just flood the field with Synchros. Whoever does whichever first wins. 2 Legionnaires. You don't need 3 anymore because he's not necessary to what the deck is trying to accomplish. It's very nice because it's your version of the Dragonfly Centipede play, but difference is you only get 1 monster. However, you can search this out with Ravine, which is very nice, so you can be dropping it once per turn, which is really, really nice. And 2 is really all you need. You don't need 3 anymore, that's for sure. And then 1 Dragunity Atlas. This card's only really used for comboing with Legionnaire or Variana. With Legionnaire, it's a pop 2 Hornet play, essentially. And with Variana, it's like a Heroic Champion Excalibur that, instead of being a 4K beater, is a 38, but you get to blow up a card. So, I like the blow up card better. 2 Dragunity Arma Mystellion. This card is used to set up your combo more quickly and as an out to Effect Veiler. What this card does is it lets you go summon Ducks, bait the Effect Veiler, and then just send it to the graveyard, special Mistletoe, equip the Phalanx, special the Phalanx, and sync off to Will of Late. So, this card used to just be an optional card, but since it's a level 6 dragon, it has become much, much better for the deck. And with this new combo that it can do because of King of a Tome, it's a really, Really nice card to play in the deck. I wouldn't necessarily go 3 because you'll end up dead drawing it, but 2 is a very nice balance because 1, you're never going to draw it. 1, Blackwing Zephyros the Elite. This card is very, very important for the deck. It's like, you just need to play this for the combo. I'll go ahead and either show off the combo at the end of this video or post a separate video as to what that combo is, but Zephyros is a very important card in the deck. 1, Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. This card's only used for the combo. You can play 2, but you don't need to. It's an iffy card choice. I mean, I found myself kind of dead drawing it at 2, but at the same time, a lot of times what would happen is I would set up the field with my Stardust, Red Eyes Darkness Metal, and King of Atome, and they would just kill the Darkness Metal and leave me the Atome. So that happened like 3 or 4 times. So I'm really tempted to throw in second Darkness Metal, but at the same time I'm not. But with further testing, we'll see. Right now, I went into the regional with just 1 because it was good at 1. I didn't feel I need the second. 2, Effect Veiler. You don't need to main 3 because in the matchups where Effect Veiler isn't going to help you, it's just not good to have 3 Effect Veiler off of 1 or no targets. So I only went with 2, and I liked it. I had it most of the time when I wanted it, and it felt good to main. I would not main 3. And I only main 2 because I only had to, but even if I had 3, I would just side the 3rd. But yeah, Effect Veiler was a nice little card choice. 3, Dracunschlutz, German Ravines. This card is very, very, very important. It is your search engine. And why would you not play your deck without the search engine? It's ridiculous. You play your search engine, it's your speed, it's your consistency, it's everything for your deck. This card lets you put your Dragunity tuners in the graveyard, and it lets you search out your wing beasts. It's, without question, the best card in this deck. This card is what makes Dragunities playable. If this were semi-limited, the deck probably wouldn't even be playable. I'm not even joking about that. 3, Terraforming. This card is just used to search out your Dragon Ravine. I've been told by a few people to just go with 2 so you won't dead draw it, but the thing is, with Ravine, I want it in my hand first turn no matter what, and I don't mind dead drawing this because I can just discard it with Ravine, and it won't be a problem. And, you know, like, let's say, worst case scenario, I'm out of Ravines and I draw this, I can just set it as a bluff, so it's not... That's never an issue, though. 2 cards Consonants, because it's a D-draw for your Dragunity tuners. 1 Pot of Avarice, because it's Pot of Avarice, and it's usually live turn 2 or 3, because when you go off with the combo, it's instantly live. 1 Foolish Burial to put your Zephyros in the graveyard, or to put a Phalanx or Atlas in the graveyard, depending on what you need. I put Phalanx in the grave once, and I put Atlas in the grave once with this, and then I put Zephyros in the grave like 3 or 4 times. So, Foolish Burial, want to play it in this deck. Reborn for obvious reasons, Dark Hole for obvious reasons, MSTs for obvious reasons, but after playing this, I would at least probably take it down to 2 MST. I don't know, I might not, I am really not sure. And then 1 Heavy Storm, that's all staple stuff. You don't... The only thing questionable about that was the 3 MST. I don't know if I would keep playing 3, but lastly for the spells, there's 1 Soul Taker and 2 Forbidden Lance. I would probably drop at least 1 MST for a Pot of Duality and something else for a Pot of Duality. I really feel like I should have been playing Pot of Duality in this deck, but when you open the combo, it was a dead draw, so I took him out, and I really kind of regret it now that I've played the tournament. And the Soul Taker was meant for the Chaos Dragon and Hero matchup. I didn't expect to play the Hero matchup, but I actually ended up playing 2, and I didn't draw this against the Chaos Dragon matchup, so yeah. The only thing I ended up playing more than once, though, was Heroes, which was kind of surprising. But it was very popular there with Chaos Dragons and Inzectors. Chaos Dragons was the big one, and then Inzectors was number 2, but I only played one of each, so that was kind of surprising. I had a very diverse regional. There was a lot of variety to it, and I liked that. Traps is just 2 Bottomless, 2 Torrential, and 2 Dark Bribe. Bottomless, get rid of big things. Torrential is to maintain field control, and Bribes are just to stop opponents' things. So, yeah, Dark Bribes were good. Torrentials were really good. Bottomlesses were iffy. You could maybe side them, but I don't know. Bottomless is the only questionable thing about the trap lineup here. Everything else I liked. So, yeah, that was the main. On to the extra. 1 Cataster and 1 Bryonic. Just good synchros. 3 Dragunity Knight Variana. This card is very, very versatile with this deck. It's a level 6 dragon that you can use as a, I refer to it as like a bridge synchro to a level 8. You just equip the Phalanx, special it, and then sync off. Or you can use it to equip Atlas, use its effect to send Atlas to the graveyard and blow up a card, and then swing at the 38 beater. It's just very, very versatile with this deck, and you need to be playing 3. The Dragunity Knights are, without a doubt, needed in this deck. You need to play 3 Variana, 1 Gadarg, and 1 Heretic Dragon King of the Tomb, at the very, very least, with the extra deck. Here is the Dragunity Knight Gadarg. You just make this card turn 1 if you don't have the combo turn 1, and you put Zephyros in the graveyard with them, and the next turn you can just explode unless they can clear your field off. Level 8 options were double Stardust, 1 Thought Ruler, 1 Scrap Dragon, and 1 Colossal Fighter. I feel that the Stardust, you can probably just get away with 1. I never ended up dropping more than 1 in a game, so I really don't know how I feel about the second Stardust, but I felt it was necessary at the time, and I wouldn't have really had anything to replace it with, but I don't know. And then lastly, there was, for the synchros, 1 Trident Dragon. This guy, I never dropped him, but that was just because of what my opponent's, following turn play was. They would be like, set 2 back row, set a monster, and pass, so I was just afraid of a lot of things, and so I never ended up dropping this guy. It was either because I couldn't or because I was too afraid to. But this guy is no longer a necessary card. I just played it because I could drop it turn 3 or 4 if I opened right, and, and I would lose virtually nothing because of the field, so, I mean, I don't know, it was, if extra deck space with this deck is tight, but if you're going to do anything, you can play the Trident Dragon or the, Stardust as takeouts. Extra deck with Exceeds is just 1 Utopia for if they have a Veiler to your Ducks. 1 Photon Strike Bouncer is just a nice little tech, and then Heretic Dragon King of a Tomb is what you use to explode with your extra. And I don't really have time to explain the side, but here it is. It was just 2 DD Crow, 2 Fossil Dyna, 2 Snowman Eater, 1 Soul Taker, 2 Dust Tornado, 2 Chain Disappearance, 2 Light Imprisoning Mirror, and 2 Shadow. So, yeah. Just wanted sides for everything, and that was the deck profile. So yeah, peace, YouTube.